What if your favorite US destinations were on the verge of collapse? Imagine the places you love, the landmarks you've always wanted to visit, suddenly becoming inaccessible or drastically changed. Today, we're counting down the 10 states facing the biggest challenges, places where your next trip could look very different. These are states grappling with issues that could reshape their landscapes and communities. From economic meltdowns to climate disasters, we'll reveal what's really happening behind the scenes and how it could impact your travel plans. These hidden crises are more than just headlines, they're real threats to your travel experiences. Imagine planning a dream vacation, only to find your destination transformed by crisis. The places you thought you knew may never be the same again. We've dug deep into the data to bring you the ultimate traveler's guide to America's most at-risk states. Our research uncovers the vulnerabilities that could affect your next adventure. Buckle up. This countdown might just change your bucket list. You might want to rethink your travel plans after seeing what we've discovered. Ready to see which states are on the brink? Let's dive in. The results might surprise you. The first state on our list is one you will not expect. Stay tuned to find out which state tops our list. Number 10 is California, the land of dreams, where the sun always seems to shine and opportunity once felt endless. For decades, people flocked here chasing fame, fortune, and a taste of the good life. But now, California is facing a harsh reality that's hard to ignore. The state's legendary promise is fading for many. Sky-high costs are driving residents out in record numbers, leaving behind empty homes and businesses. Hotels, restaurants, and attractions are struggling to find enough workers, and the sense of vibrancy is slipping away. For travelers, that means higher prices and lower service. You might pay more, but get less, longer waits, fewer amenities, and a less welcoming experience. Wildfires and droughts are the new normal, threatening both locals and visitors every year. Your trip could be canceled at a moment's notice by smoke, fire, or water restrictions. Outdoor adventures are no longer guaranteed. Iconic landscapes are changing, lush parks are turning brown, and air quality can force you indoors for days. The natural beauty California is famous for is under threat. Even the famous Pacific Coast Highway comes with sticker shock. Gas, food, and lodging can drain your budget fast, making a dream road trip feel out of reach for many. The state's environmental and economic crises are reshaping the travel experience, making it less predictable and more expensive than ever before. California is still a top destination, drawing millions each year, but it's a paradise with a dark side that's growing harder to ignore. Plan ahead, expect the unexpected, and know that the Golden State is losing its shine. The dream is still alive, but it's not what it used to be. That's why California starts our countdown of destinations facing tough times. Next up, a Midwest giant in trouble, facing its own set of challenges. Number 9 is Illinois, home to Chicago, and a state in financial freefall. Visitors are hit with some of the nation's highest taxes on hotels, meals, and rentals, making trips unexpectedly expensive. Budget cuts mean less investment in parks, roads, and public transit, so expect more potholes and fewer amenities. Outside Chicago, population loss and business closures have left many towns feeling empty and neglected. Even classic Route 66 stops are vanishing. Illinois offers world-class city sights, but the state's decline is impossible to ignore. High costs and visible decay put Illinois on our list. Now let's head east to a state where the price of admission keeps rising. Number 8 is New York, where the cost of visiting rivals the city's legendary skyline. Hotels and meals are shockingly expensive, often forcing travelers to cut back on experiences. Crumbling infrastructure is a daily reality. Subway delays, traffic jams, and aging systems can derail your plans. The city's glamour hides a state struggling to maintain basic services. Major failures like power outages or water main breaks could bring everything to a halt. You're paying premium prices for a destination on the edge. New York's energy is unmatched, but so are its risks. The Big Apple is still dazzling, but its core is showing cracks. Next, a state where nature itself is the biggest threat. Number 7 is Louisiana, a cultural gem fighting a losing battle with nature. Hurricanes and floods threaten the state every year. Your trip could be upended by a single storm. Coastal erosion is swallowing land, putting cities like New Orleans at constant risk. Infrastructure is always in recovery mode, and rising insurance costs make everything pricier for visitors. Roads and amenities may be damaged or under repair long after disasters strike. Louisiana's vibrant culture endures, but the risks are real and growing. Visit for the music and food, but plan carefully. Mother Nature is always in charge. Louisiana is a treasure on the brink. Up next, a state where the past and present collide. Number 6 is Michigan, a state of stunning lakes and stark contrasts. Detroit's downtown is reviving, but much of the city and other towns are marked by abandoned buildings and economic decline. Travelers outside tourist hotspots encounter poorly maintained parks, rough roads, and limited amenities. The state's natural beauty is undeniable, but urban decay is impossible to miss. Michigan is working to reinvent itself, but the scars of lost industry run deep. Enjoy the lakes and forests, but be prepared for a journey through both wonder and hardship. Michigan's rust is more than a metaphor. It's a reality for visitors. Next, a state where the cost of living is driving people out. Number 5 is New Jersey, where high taxes and soaring costs are pushing residents and travelers away. Everything from hotel rooms to boardwalk snacks comes with a hefty price tag, thanks to the state's tax burden. Out-migration is draining wealth and investment, leaving infrastructure dated and underfunded. Expect traffic jams, transit delays, and a sense of stagnation outside tourist hotspots. The Jersey Shore still offers classic summer fun, but the state's struggles are visible if you look closer. New Jersey is fighting to keep its own people, and its appeal. For travelers, it's an expensive, congested experience. That's why it lands in our top 5. Now let's head to America's wildest frontier. Number 4 is Alaska. Breathtaking, remote, and increasingly fragile. Known as the last frontier, Alaska's wild beauty is legendary, drawing adventurers and dreamers from around the world. But beneath the surface, this vast state faces mounting challenges that threaten its future. Getting there is costly, and once you arrive, prices for food, lodging, and tours are sky high. Everyday essentials can cost double or even triple what you'd pay elsewhere, making even a short visit a major investment. Climate change is melting glaciers, thawing permafrost, and disrupting wildlife, sometimes closing roads and altering the very landscapes you came to see. Iconic sites are vanishing, and the environment is changing faster than anyone expected. The state's oil-dependent economy is shrinking, leaving less money for basic services and park maintenance. As oil revenues decline, communities struggle to keep up with repairs and support for visitors. Alaska's isolation magnifies every challenge, from supply shortages to infrastructure failures. Remote towns rely on costly air deliveries, and a single storm can cut off entire regions for days. The adventure is real, but so are the risks and costs. Travelers must be prepared for unpredictable weather, rough terrain, and the reality that help can be far away. The last frontier is on thin ice, literally and financially. Both the land and the economy are at a tipping point, with the future hanging in the balance. Visit soon, but be ready for a state in rapid transition. Alaska is changing before our eyes, and what you see today may be gone tomorrow. Alaska's future is uncertain, earning it the number 4 spot. The challenges are immense, but so is the spirit of those who call it home. Next, a state left behind by progress. Number 3 is West Virginia. Gorgeous mountains, but deep economic pain. The collapse of coal has left towns hollowed out, with boarded-up shops and few amenities for travelers. Poverty and the opioid crisis are visible realities, impacting safety and the overall experience. Infrastructure and tourism services are underfunded, and population loss means fewer workers and slower service. The state's natural beauty is world-class, but hardship is everywhere. Outdoor adventures are unforgettable, but the decline is impossible to ignore. West Virginia is a paradise with a broken heart, now to a state where struggle is a way of life. Number 2 is Mississippi, where deep poverty and failing infrastructure shape every visit. Crumbling roads, outdated tourist facilities, and even water crises in the capital are part of the landscape. The state ranks last in health, education, and income, challenges you'll see firsthand. Extreme weather, from hurricanes to tornadoes, can devastate towns for years. Recovery is slow, and basic services are often unreliable. Mississippi's culture and history are rich, but the struggle is visible everywhere. Warm hospitality can't hide the state's ongoing crisis. Visiting is eye-opening, but expect challenges at every turn. Mississippi is fighting to function, earning its spot as runner-up, now the number 1 state on the brink. Number 1 is Connecticut, a wealthy state quietly collapsing under its own debt. Decades of financial mismanagement have left it with massive deficits and unfunded pensions. Taxes are sky high, making everything expensive for visitors, but the experience rarely matches the price. Major companies are leaving, draining jobs and tax revenue. Urban centers like Hartford and Bridgeport are struggling with poverty and decay, while infrastructure crumbles. The state can't afford to invest in improvements, so roads and public transit suffer. Residents pay more and get less, fueling a toxic cycle of decline. Connecticut's collapse is hidden behind a charming facade. For travelers, it's a cautionary tale. Even the richest states can fall apart. That's why Connecticut tops our list. 10 states, 10 warnings, travel in America is changing fast. These aren't just headlines, they're realities that shape your adventures. Being informed means you can plan smarter and travel with compassion. If you found this eye-opening, hit subscribe and join our community of curious explorers. Thanks for watching. See you in the next adventure. Safe travels.